Now at 6, the city of Pittsburgh survives a cyber attack. KOAM's Amber Jenkins will have details. Plus, the Lafayette House in Joplin receives a grant for $7,500 to replace some equipment in the daycare. And a new list puts a welcome spotlight on the state's most and least desirable for teachers. We'll show you where each of our 4 area states ranks.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
City of Pittsburgh says residents' information is secure despite a cyber attack. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The online attack targeted the city's computer system over the weekend. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Pittsburgh city officials were notified at 3 a.m. on September 16th of a cyber attack.
We've taken a lot of steps in preparation for this, from cyber insurance to disaster recovery sites and protocols, but it hasn't happened to us yet, so we knew it was probably inevitable, but the idea now is to just mitigate the risk.
The city servers were victimized by ransomware. The cyber attackers stole encrypted data and demanded money from the city. Officials disconnected the servers so the ransomware wouldn't spread.
Our focus over the weekend was to make sure that operations just continued for the public. So I think we're in a pretty good place with regards to public safety, police and fire, water and sewer. All of those things will continue uninterrupted. Internally, we're doing a lot of stuff on paper right now because we've shut everything down on purpose to eliminate or to mitigate the risk.
But I don't have any way to check it because our system is down.
The cyber attack shut down computer servers, phone systems, and more. However, due to off-site storing, city officials say do not worry about the attack compromising your information.
There's only so much information we have on any of our customers. Basically, all that stuff is stored off-site with regards to credit cards and things like that. So I don't think anybody that lives in Pittsburgh or does business with the city should feel that there's any threat to them personally.
It's not just local government and businesses that are at risk. You could be too. According to a cybersecurity and infrastructure agency, you can be proactive against future ransomware attacks by making an incident plan, backing up data, and updating contacts. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
City officials say everything should be back to normal next week. We have some rain chances on the way. Here's Doug Heddy with a look at our forecast.
Well, I hope everyone had a great Monday. Temperatures were almost a little bit on the hot side out there. It's still warm. Most of us on the Missouri side still sitting into the mid 80s, and then you approach 90 once you get out across northeastern Oklahoma, also southeastern parts of Kansas. It's going to be a little bit cooler as we go through the next few days, but the evening hours are fine. We have a few little clouds that are kind of skirting through, but our next developing storm system or wave of energy heading out across western Kansas down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. This wave is going to head toward us over the next 24 hours. And the good news here is we're going to get some rain chances in the forecast. Now, not this evening. It's going to be warm, slide back through the 80s, 70s, eventually into the 60s later on tonight. But we're going to break down those rain chances for you coming up here in just a bit.
See you soon, Doug. The Lafayette House can expect a brand new HVAC system in the near future thanks to a generous donation. Today, the Arvest Foundation presented a grant worth $7,500 to the Lafayette House for upgrade. The grant will help provide a much needed replacement of the HVAC system for the daycare in the facility.
Especially during the summertime when kids are here all day long and we're going in and out the doors outside and coming in from the hot playground, and air conditioning is definitely going to be really beneficial. And you know, at the end of the day at 3 o'clock when they come in from school, it's still pretty warm in here and we just want to come in and cool off.
The Lafayette House provides safe sanctuary for mothers and their children who've suffered domestic violence. The Joplin Public Library announces the arrival of a brand new pollinator garden. 3 MSSU students brought the idea to the JPL, who worked with the library's director to find space and conduct a study on what native plants to install. After raising $300 for the project, the library enlisted the aid of Churt Glade, Missouri master naturalist and native plant enthusiast Val Frankowski to ask for help and guidance to complete the project. According to her, reintroducing native plants will bring bees and butterflies back to home sweet home.
Their ancestors were here, and we're just bringing them back because all the insects that enjoy the flowers and the leaves of the plants need something they've grown up with.
That new garden is going to be on the west side of the library and attract not just butterflies and bees, but they say birds as well. A new study looks at desirable states for teachers, and each of our 4 area states rank in the bottom half. The study by Wallet Hub looks at such factors as teacher pay, teacher to student ratio, and spending per pupil. In a ranking of the 50 states plus the District of Columbia, Kansas ranks 28th, Arkansas 35th, Oklahoma ranks 40th, and Missouri is listed as 45th. By the way, Virginia ranks best, New Hampshire ranks worse. Missouri Southern touts an increase in new student enrollment this semester. The university reports gains in total first-time graduate transfer and freshmen for a second consecutive year. Last fall, the number of new students grew 1.7%. Additionally, the retention rate of first-time full-time freshmen, meaning those who entered in fall of 2022 and stayed enrolled in fall of 2023, increased 8% over the previous year and was the highest at MSSU in the past 17 years. The Ottawa tribe is mourning the death of its chief. Chief Ethel Cook passed away at her home yesterday. She'll lie in state until 4 p.m. Friday afternoon for friends and community members to visit. Graveside services will then be on Saturday, September 23rd at 2 p.m. at the Ottawa Indian Cemetery. Friends and family may send their family notes of encouragement by viewing Chief Ethel Cook's tribute page at brownwinters.com. Chief Ethel Cook was 72 years old. Coming up, a fatal crash involving a pickup in southeast Kansas, plus the 2-1 Missouri Southern Lions begin preparing for their game against Northeastern State. John's going to have details for us coming up later in sports.
50 bonus cash on Ford F-150, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
One man is dead from a weekend crash in southeast Kansas. It happened on K7 in Bourbon County early Saturday. Investigators say a pickup began rotating while negotiating a curve onto the northbound ramp of U69. The pickup left the road, overturned, and came to rest on its roof. The driver, 38-year-old Francisco Espinoza Perez of Texas, died at the scene. The Missouri Department of Transportation plans a meeting to replace the Missouri Route 96 bridge over Missouri Route 171 west of Carthage, and the public is invited. Public can go to the online public meeting on Monday, October 2nd, to learn more about plans for replacing the bridge. That new bridge will include new barrier walls, guardrails, and permanent striping. The meeting will be available for 2 weeks from Monday, October 2nd until Monday, October 16th, and can be accessed at mo.org/southwest. mo.dot.org/southwest. During the bridge replacement, Route 96 will be closed for up to 6 months. A little bit later, John takes us out to Pitt State to show us who the Gorilla also player of the week. And Doug Hetty has a full look at the 4-state forecast, and it sounds like we could get some more rain.
And Silverado HD, you can take on them.
Flexible schedules available. Call Midcon Cables today.
Today's weather is brought to you by the Mansion Theater for the Performing Arts in Branson.
Hey, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. We had quite a bit of sunshine across the region. After a really nice weekend, temperatures did heat up a little bit more for us during the afternoon, but still fantastic. It looks great right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. So if you want to get outside this evening, it looks great. It's warm, but it looks great. We're into the mid-80s on the Missouri and also Arkansas side, and then you push 90 once you get out across southeastern Kansas and also northeastern Oklahoma. 87 right now, feels like 85. Humidity is low, so at least we don't get that stickiness We're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s, eventually into the mid 60s a little bit later on tonight. And we do have a few clouds that are kind of skirting through the region, but in general, it looks okay. But here's our next wave. You can see a few thunderstorms in western Kansas, down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, out into the Rockies. This wave is going to slide in. It's going to give us clouds and at least scattered showers by the time we head into Tuesday, which, hey, is good news. And then right behind it, here's a secondary wave, and this will give us a reinforcement shot for some showers, even a few thunderstorms, for the second half of the work week. So we need the rain. We'll take it. All right, tonight's going to be dry, but as we go into your Tuesday, at least scattered showers start to sneak up during the morning, into the afternoon, and then still kind of really sitting around tomorrow night and into Wednesday. All right, let me take you through time. Clouds increase tonight. I'm going to stop at 5:30 in the morning. A few hit and miss little tiny showers. Most of us dry tonight. As we go through the morning, we'll stop at the noon hour. Hit and miss light showers, mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Starting to spread into southwestern Missouri tomorrow afternoon, but you can really see these are very light, very hit and miss. Now we're going to get some bigger thunderstorms down through central Oklahoma tomorrow evening. Some of those are going to be strong to severe, but mainly staying to our south. But we are going to see a flare-up of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning as this wave passes through. So scattered thunderstorms during the morning on Wednesday and then pushing east as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Then chances returning, especially late Thursday and then into Friday. All right, so rainfall is a little hard to pin down because these are going to be scattered. But a lot of areas are going to pick up a quarter, maybe a half an inch, maybe some areas a little bit heavier than that, which, hey, like I said, we need. 60 in the morning, 80 by noon, 83 by 4, high temp of 85, hit and miss, light showers throughout the day. And as we go down the road, you can see rain chances increase again for Friday. Then we're going to deal with this system as we head into the weekend. And once this passes by Sunday, then we cool back down just a bit. So at least we have something to talk about this week. Last week, kind of boring. 85 tomorrow, 77 cooler on Wednesday, 84 on Thursday, 80 on Friday, 83 on Saturday, and then drying out next week, but we get a nice stretch of 77 Sunday, 79 on Monday, 83 on Tuesday. So looking pretty good, and of course, we do need the rain. Dow?
We do indeed. It'll be good to see some, however much we do get. Doug, thanks. Still ahead, a Pitt State Gorilla is named the MIAA Player of the Week. And Missouri Southern football looks ahead to its matchup this Saturday against Northeastern State. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
Theater for the Performing Arts invite you to a 30th anniversary star-studded season featuring
at mercynow.net.
Are you game?
I am ready.
Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
Missouri Southern football is 2-1 after consecutive road victories over Washburn and Nebraska Kearney. This Saturday, the Lions try to get their first home win of the season as Northeastern State comes to Joplin and also hopes to play a complete game.
We're dominating first and third quarters. So now we got to figure out, hey, in the first half, how do we sustain that to create a bigger lead? And then in the third quarter, how do we sustain that fast start so that we can put some teams away? I would love to have some blowout victories where we could take a deep breath in the fourth and get a lot of guys some reps.
We all want to be great, and we all just fly around to the ball, and it's big. When you have people around you that you know are playing for you, playing for the team, it's just, it all goes together well, it flows together, and I feel like we're all playing good as a group, and we're all doing it for each other, and that's the biggest thing.
Saturday will be the first home game for the Lions in over 3 weeks. The loss to Northwest Missouri on August 31st to open the year is the last time they were at Fred Hughes Stadium. The last time Southern won 3 games in a row, you don't have to go back too far. It was last September when it took down Fort Hays State. And another week brings another rendition of the Division II coaches poll. Top 10 is on your screen right now. Pittsburgh State holding steady at number 3. Still doesn't receive any first place votes, though, after winning a 38-37 nail-biter on the road at UCM this past weekend. As we show you all the MIAA representation in the poll, you can see that loss to Pitt State actually boosts up the Mules from being unranked to number 25. Emporia State is now the number 11 team in the country. It will face both PSU and Southern later this fall. Northwest Missouri falls out of the top 25 after losing on the road to Fort Hays State. Missouri Western also receiving a couple of votes after the Griffins start the year 2-1. And speaking of the MIAA, the conference announces Colby Katzis is the Offensive Player of the Week this coming after the sophomore hauled in 9 receptions for a career-high 200 receiving yards in that win at UCM on Saturday. He made it into the end zone once and is ranking 3rd in the conference in both receptions and receiving yards per game. Back to high school football, the Seneca Indians win the Performance of the Week from this past Friday's win over Lamar on the road. Every Friday night on Fox 14 Press Box, we give you 3 teams to choose from on who had the best performance of the week and let you choose the winner on our website. Make sure to join us again this Friday night at 11 p.m. Now, this offseason, Chiefs fans probably got tired of hearing about contract news when it came to Chris Jones' holdout, but today, the opposite happened. Some good news. Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have come to a new agreement that restructures his contract. Now, that frees up about $2.5 million in salary cap space for this season. It also promises Mahomes over $210 million in guaranteed money from 2023 until 2026, which is the most in NFL history over a 4-year span. Now, Mahomes was also the NFL's highest paid player when he signed a 10-year extension in 2020, but with other players getting new deals since then, before today, Mahomes was the 8th highest paid quarterback in the league. Now, Missouri Southern Women's Golf takes part in its first invitational of the fall season, starting today, going into tomorrow. The Lions hold the team lead after one day of competition, holding a 1-stroke lead over Illinois' Springfield, close behind in second place. Individually, Katarina Chinaranska leads the entire field of 89 players after shooting a day 174, which is 2 over par. Lions have 3 of their 6 golfers inside the top 10, Lily Allman and Juliana Walshka, both part of a 9-way tie for 7th place after shooting a 77 on day 1. The tournament concludes tomorrow afternoon. Back to the Chiefs news. Maybe you don't want to hear that your team's giving so much money to one player, but I will tell you, it makes Patrick Mahomes happy if he's the number 1 paid quarterback in the league.
The fact that it's guaranteed money is critical in a sport as dangerous as football.
Definitely, yes.
You know that regardless of what happens, that money's in the bank. We'll be right back.
Out on the massive loss of the Aleutian Islands, we're proud to salute Ralph Gildart, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Joplin City Council discusses plans to bring a new theater to town. Plus, the Miami City Council hears a proposal by the Boys and Girls Club to build a new gymnasium. And September is National Recovery Month, how an addiction recovery organization is raising hope and awareness. Those stories and a lot more on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, when severe weather strikes, you're going to want to stay informed, and you can do that by scanning this QR code. You can do it right now. It'll take you to the KOAM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather events to give you updated information. While you're there, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Now let's check back with Doug for a final look at the weather.
If you are getting outside this evening, it looks great. We are going to get some clouds starting to increase and a few random showers trying to work in late tonight and then hit and miss showers for us tomorrow. It's not going to be heavy. It's not going to be widespread. Better chances for rain tomorrow night heading into Wednesday morning and then returning again late Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Final sports notes.
Week 2 of the NFL season wraps up tonight with a doubleheader on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for joining us. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
On KOAM News. News is sponsored by Aaron Sachs and Associates, proud partner of Travis Kelce and